Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion, continuous discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. So today is 21st March 2025, a very auspicious day, and it's a very auspicious morning to start our discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. Sri Bhaktiyaloka by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishatan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhana Vidavidayitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasitanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambra Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestum Lidasa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Garatse Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namstute Apta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Shri Guru Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Pristha Bhutari Shrimati Jayapataka Swamiti Namni Namacharya Padai Nitya Kripa Pradani Gorakata Dhamma Kavi Mangalam Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to continue our discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. So my gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us. Okay, despite we have started half an hour late today, right? So thank you all for coming. So today we're going to continue our discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. So we stop that. Human beings are divided according to the nature. All right. Okay. So, so today we're going to continue our discussion. So let's recap what we have learned yesterday. So yesterday we were talking about occupational duties men perform according to his own position. So every one of us have to work according to our own position and perform devotional service accordingly. Okay, that's the best way to do it, because if it's your natural position, means you are naturally supposed to be good at it. If you are a natural cook, you naturally will have the golden fingers, right? So naturally good cook and everything. So right, but at the same time, if the thing do not provoke the attraction, message to the person who got hit, is actually much of useless labor. Okay, so we have spoke about it. One should know without following the process of inertia materialistic Okay, one should know that without following the process of Varnashram Dharma, a materialist has no alternative to pass his life favorably in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So, Varnashram is very important, especially those who are materialistic people, because of course they are performing their job according to the nature, according to the nature that they acquire. And it's important for them to practice, right? Varnashram Dharma, and using that Varnashram Dharma and dedicate everything, dovetailing everything to the service of Krishna. Example, the Brahmanas will be giving knowledge on Krishna consciousness, and they are very weak. They are not very aggressive kind of people, and they has to be protected by the Kshatriya. So Kshatriya protects the Brahmana, and of course, in overall citizen, they don't tax the Brahmana, and they what they call they have to protect them. Okay, so to uphold this thing and make sure that everyone follows the rules and regulations put forward in according to the Vedic literature. If the Kshatriya become weak, that's when all this kind of what they call the brothel, what they call the bars and what they call the alcohol drinking, meat eating, like slaughterhouse, all become very prominent. Right? They have to make sure they have to check and balance. When we study in Srimad Bhagavatam, you know, there's one place it's mentioned about setting up a kingdom. See, when there's a new town is going to set up, so what are the things they have to set up? First thing is they set the palace, and after palace, opposite of palace, they have to set up a prison, because they know there will be some citizen has to be corrected. All right, they will set up a prison in town planning. All right, the first thing is palace, second thing is prison, and the third thing is they will also set up brothel. You know, brothel? Yes, in the Vedic system, there's a brothel. That's why they say prostitution is the oldest trade in the world. They will set up brothel to prevent, that means the man with low mentality, low character. For them, it's a place for them to go and release their frustration. Okay, if not, there will be a lot of rapes and all these things will happen. You know, when the men go crazy, you know, they feel like very lusty, they don't know what to do. That's why they have set up brothel, so that there'll be very less rape cases. All right, they don't go and rape around, so they just go there and this thing. So brothel. Then after that, they will set up a hospital and also ashram, the place to study. So this is the thing they set up. So the king must ensure all these departments are well taken care. First of all, the citizen has to go for education, ashram. The citizen, they fall sick, hospital. When the citizen misbehave, prison. The citizen, when they cannot control themselves, brothel. All right. In brothel, you can see wine and liquor and everything. Okay. And there's no such thing like slaughterhouse. They don't set up slaughterhouse, mass slaughtering of animals. It's not set up. Right. It is only here and there in a very isolated place. They just simply slaughter a goat. They just eat it. Only the people with low caste mentality, outcast. So these are the people will be usually there to please them, so that everybody in this kingdom will live harmony. So at the same time, the king also have to ensure that Kshatriya have to ensure that all the people, despite in whatever citizen they are, whatever environment they are, they all have to dovetail, they all have to concentrate in spiritual life. That's why there is a lot of festival. The kings observe a lot of festival. In Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see that how the king observes Ekadasi. When the king observes Ekadasi, even the animals are not fed on that day. So it's like a mandatory, like what happened in Malaysia, Puasa. Right? They make it so mandatory that in Puasa time, they see you eating outside, they will catch you. All right, you can be fined or you can go to prison, right? If you eat during the fasting month. So like that, they'll impose this kind of strict rules. Okay. So like some or other, all the people who are in whatever mentality they are or whatever profession they are, like butcher, prostitutes, bartender, and all these kind of things. So some or other on that particular day, they don't do that, and they will engage themselves in devotional service by strictly practicing vrata. And those days, Ekadasi means is not being fruitarian. Ekadasi means being fully, completely fasting without even water. So that is what the Vedic system is all about. Then they have a festival like Deepavali, okay, like Ram Navami, Janmastami, then Gora Purnima. All these kind of festivals they usually will have. They will create a reason to celebrate. In that celebration, The whole citizen, everybody will come along with the king and they will celebrate. So that's the job of Kshatriya. And job of Vaishya, you have to ensure that all that food supply chain is well taken care. The grains are enough so that no one will go into hunger. So they have to think about farming. At the same time, whatever extra they have, they like to do trade. They go to other neighboring state or other country. They go and do business and they bring back fortune, right? And the fortune they will offer to the king in the form of taxation, right? So sometimes when they go out, when they find something very unique, they'll come back and offer to the king. Yeah? So so that's the job of Vaishya. The job of Vaishya, for the sake of making money, is not to have a chain of brothel, chain of pubs and bistro, or chain of what they call slaughterhouse. Okay, because in the name of business, which is very lucrative. Okay, the pub is very lucrative business. The brothel is very lucrative business. The what they call this the slaughterhouse is very lucrative business. Not to cultivate that way. They have to protect the animals. They have to protect the animals, and they have to utilize the animal. The male cow, bull, is used to work on the land. All right, and the female cow is to be protected. The cow has to be protected because she supplies milk. Supplies milk and all these things. So everything that comes from the cow body is not wasted. Everything is being utilized. So their job is to protect them, make sure they are very happy. So because we have to bring the cow's milk. That's why in Hare Krishna we call happy cow. Prabhupada used to call happy cow because the cow is happily giving out milk for the pleasure of human society, right? So basically, cow is a universal mother. Every mammal, or including snake and all these reptiles and everything, they can simply survive with cow's milk. So that's why it's a universal mother. It feeds on, say, if you see a kitten on the road, you don't know what milk to give. You can simply give the kitten milk cow's milk. Right? You can give cow's milk, even a dog puppy, everything can be given cow's milk. It's a universal mother. So that's why the thing. All right. And the Shudra is to make sure that they provide enough manpower. So the cultivation of the field is taken care very nicely, so that there'll be less of this thing. And they also will be working in the kingdom in the palace as the servants, right? At the same time, they also serve the Brahmana. They are the most important element. Without help, nothing can be utilized. So like that all the four people in that social order lives very harmony and peaceful. No one will go and check on anyone. They just keep everything, the culture, the tradition among themselves, but they have one thing in common. When they come for this kind of festivity, the Shudra, with whatever little money that he has earned, he will give a little token as a donation. A Vaishya will make big money. He will give a big lump sum for a donation. A Kshatriya who takes money from he prepares the temple, he prepares the festion, and all these things all set up for the celebration. And he will make sure that all the Brahmanas that come there, they are well paid. Sometimes when you see a Brahmana, if you just give, just like example, you go to any temple, right? You go to any temple, you give one extra donation. Say like, for instance, when they bring the tattu, right? When you with the fire, you just give, say, you put in 50 ringgit. What the Brahmana will do? Wow, please wait, huh? He will go in and bring the garland from the deity and put it for you, and he will take the thing and tie on your head, because the Brahmanas are well taken care. When the Brahmanas are happy, the mercies start to flow. For that reason, the Brahmanas are rewarded very nicely by the king, so that they will do out of love, out of this thing, and it's not to say that they are lusting over the property or this thing. They are just overwhelmed with your loving reciprocation. That because giving away property, money, and donation, it is like sacrificing your blood. See, you are exchanging your life for that income. Say every month you're working, you are exchanging your precious life. You are exchanging your precious life for that salary. And you take the salary and a portion you're giving to Krishna or giving to the Brahmana. What does that mean? That means you are sacrificing a portion of your life, your hard-earned money, as you see, and that pleases them a lot. And of course, the Brahmanas won't take the thing and buy a bungalow, live in he won't buy a house. He doesn't go and drive Mercedes Benz and all these kind of things. He still utilize everything for Krishna service. All right. So that's a Brahmana. So like that is a social order. So that means the process of Varnashram Dharma, a materialist has no alternative. If you don't do this, He has no alternative to pass his life favorably in the service of the Lord. Right? So now let's continue today's discussion. Human beings are divided according to their nature into the following division. Right? So how they are divided? According to the nature. Right? Into the following division. Yes, Vivan? All right. So now, so division. That means the first division is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, Shankara, and Antyaja. All right. So these are the systems they have created: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Shankara, and Antyaja. Even though the system of Varnashram is not clearly present in some countries, still it exists in the seedling form. According to one's nature, he develops his occupation, and accordingly his means of livelihood. Right? So that means, what does it mean? So that means in this current situation, current age, of course, there is this kind of varnashram is something that is like it's been corrupted. The system is corrupted. So now what we can understand, it's all because of one's nature. A person can be born as a Brahmana, but the son become a businessman. Right? So what happened? He is no longer a Brahmana, he's a Vaishya. He have fall from his status. All right, from his status, because the Brahmana means supposed to be a teacher and supposed to be a mentor, not to go and make some money. The Brahmanas are becoming what they call go into this court, become a lawyer. They become Kshatriya. All right, and the Brahmanas sometimes nowadays you see some Brahmin people are working with government. They call them as government servant, IAS officer, IPS officer. Okay, or in Malaysia we call this kind of some senior officers and everything. All right. So state collector. So all that, what happened? So that means they if they are collector, they are distinct, they are at a upper district, they are still known as Kshatriya. But of course, when they go and become the normal district, they fall to the level of Shudra. But the same person from Shudra, all right? Like what happened in Ipoh, there's one guy who is a barber, who is called, according to that, if you follow that caste system and everything, barbers are considered from the lower part, because they are dealing with all dirty kind of business, like cutting the hair is inauspicious, right? Or carrying that, the night soil. Those days, they used to pass motion in a tone, and they carry it. They call night soil. Or the one who works in municipality, like sweeping the drain. These are the people can go into the drain and start cleaning. Like when you see India water people, they can simply jump into the sewerage system and clean up. For us, from far we see, we run away. So these are the natures that have been created. So even that kind of children, for instance, the barber's son, he has educated the son to become a doctor, and one son is already practicing medicine. So what happened to him? I mean, as even though the father is a hairdresser, but the son has become a doctor. At the same time, we have seen a person who are so distinct, and they go into hairdressing, because hairdressing business is a fantastic business. Hairdressing, if you be a barber, is a fantastic business. So they say, oh, I'll go into that hairdressing business. So that means, so what we understand from here is, we are, according to one's nature, he develop his occupation. Accordingly, his means of livelihood. So by accepting the livelihood and occupational of others, one meets with misfortune. What happened when a person, like for a Brahmana, when he gives up everything, they call Brahma Bandhu. Okay, Brahma Bandhu. That means they fall from that this thing. So it creates misfortune. What happened? The person who are from Parambara, from 10, 20 generation, they have been worshipping the Lord. Suddenly the son goes to US. This is what happened when my wife went to US. She was sent by the government for some this thing. So she went and make some friends, and he went to one particular house. They are from Trichy, India, very Orthodox Hindus. So when they all went for a restaurant, suddenly that what they call that man's wife, he said, if you do, would you like to have steak? Here the beef is good. And my wife got a shock. See what, beef? Yeah. Then the husband just talked to her. He said, don't say anything. They all don't eat beef. Then after that, they went to the house. After that, he invited go to the house. And when there, the mother-in-law was there, the boy's mother was there, just came from India. And she said, oh, we are very particular. Every Friday and Saturday, we make sure that we become a pure vegetarian. Okay. So this is what happened. So what happened to their family tradition, culture is a misfortune. You know that Sunita Williams that went to space, came back after 9 months. You know, she showed that she got that small idol of Ganapati. Then after that came back, she said now she wants to go to India for Thanksgiving. All right. But during one of the interviews, she was telling, you know, oh, what are the food items she opened? And she just took, wow, this is beef. Yummy. Can you imagine? So it looks like even if you're a Hindu, it's okay to eat beef. It's just like a Muslim. They say, okay, it's okay. There's no hard and fast rule. Eating pork is not a big deal. It has gone to that level. So once we become out of our occupational duty, that's when the disaster starts. Right? The occupation, there is once with misfortune. Okay, what to speak of misfortune? All right, it especially obstruct one's devotional service. Birth is not the only criteria Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. All right, now birth is not the only criteria. The only criteria is one's nature. Right? The birth is doesn't matter. You okay? Now what we can understand from here, a person can be even born in outcast like Sankara Atyanja. They can be even born from a very terrible outcast or low caste, untouchable, in so-called untouchable. All right. But if their criteria, if the nature is to be a Brahmana, if he becomes a devotee, he is worshipable. You know, he is worshipable. Right? It is we do not see anyone from the place they born or what is their background. We see what is their criteria and character. All right. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 11, text 35 stated, Yasya ya lakshanam proktam, Pungsha varna vivanjakam, yat antayarapi drishteta takteneva vinitshet. If one shows the symptoms of being a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, as described above, even is appeared in a different class, you know, even if he can be born in an outcast, you know, like in Tamil, there's a few terms, right? Outcast, they call like the parayas, like the chaklis, and all these kind of things. He called outcasts. Even they can be, it has been from different class. He should be accepted according to the symptoms of classification. Can you imagine in Srimad Bhagavatam it's mentioned? It is not by any kind of what they call sentimentalists or the one who are against the caste system spoke about this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, then please tell me, my dear Prabhus and mothers, in which part of the Vedas there is a discrimination? Where is there says that a low caste plus has to be rejected? You know, it should not be allowed to enter the temple and all these kind of nonsense things that has been happened. And this is the thing that is propagated by this greatest rascal, the greatest rascal ever lived, Periyar. You know, that Periyar fellow with a long beard, you know, the old fellow who died many years ago, but still people are adoring him. They say, oh, the caste system, that's what caste system now. You know, and they always, they want to destroy that Sanatan Dharma. So this kind of thing. So now please tell. So this is something now we are studying Bhaktiyaloka. So you should be very strong and firm. First of all, you have to start to believe in this. You know, don't have that kind of traditional belief. I'm from this caste, I'm from that caste. All right, number one. Number two, whenever you see this kind of misconception happen, if you are in that situation to explain, you explain. If you're not in that situation to explain, just disagree and walk out. All right, this is something which is not good. All right, because it has to appear in different class. He can be born in different Pungsha Varna Vivanjakam Yat Antriyapi Drishyetya. So now you're talking about being born in the, wait, let me see. All right, taken the form, you say like Antyaja. Antyarpi Drishya. Okay. Vyanjakam. Right. Okay, let me get the translation. Anyway, so he should accept it according to the symptoms of classification. In his commentary, Sridhar Swami has written, Samadhivir eva brahmanadi vyavaharo mukhyaha na jati no jadi na jadi matrat ityaha yashyeti yat yadi antyatra varnantare pi drishyeta tat varnantaram teneva Lakshana nimiteneva varnena vinitshet natu jadi nimitteneti arthaha. Okay, now it says the Brahmana's main character are qualities such as peacefulness, not birth. Right? The Brahmana's main characteristic are qualities such as peacefulness, not birth. You know, sometimes, oh, born as a Brahmana, oh, I'm a Brahmana. Not by birth, by being peaceful. If the main characteristic are seen in the person other than this, if the main characteristic are seen in person other than those born as Brahmanas, then such person should be considered Brahmana. Okay? If the main characteristics are seen in a person other than those in Brahmana, that means those people are not born in a Brahmana family, but they have the symptoms of all these things, peacefulness and this thing, he has to be considered a Brahmana. Okay? Now, then after that he says, they should not be considered according to their caste of birth, na jadi. They should not be considered according to the caste of birth. Can you imagine? Bhaktivinoda Thakur was writing this in late 1800s. He left the world in 1914. 1940, now is 2025. How many years? 111 years ago. Yes, 111 years ago he left the world. And he wrote this before that. At that time, there's a peak time of this kind of nonsense caste system. And that time he created a revolution. He created this revolution and gave all this sastric evidence. So we should understand, only in Vaishnava culture, again, let me put my point again, only in Vaishnava culture, we do not see the caste system. All right? What is an example? Like Ramanujacharya, 1,000 years ago, he came and initiated all those people born from outcaste or lower caste. He brought all of them and started teaching. And because of that, he had a Siksha Guru who born from a Vaishya family, Chettiar family, Tirukachi Nambi. Tirukachi Nambi, yes. Tirukachi. Kanchipura, yes. Tirukachi Nambi. And that Tirukachi Nambi is very famous because he could able to speak directly to Lord Varada. All right. He will have a chat with Varada. He came from a merchant family, Chettiar family. And when the father about to give up the business, he came and asked, so what do you want? The other son says, no, he's always sitting and making garlands and offering to this thing. No point giving him business. And Tirukachi Nambi says, yes, I don't want any of your business. I just want that orchard. Everything you can give it to my brothers. I just want that orchard. He said, why? What are you going to do with the orchard? Because I can adore my Lord Varadaraja Perumal in Kanchipura. I can make a beautiful garland and I can just go and offer to Varadaraj. And I say, okay, let it be. And he had the opportunity to speak directly to Lord Varadaraj. When he makes the garland, when he this thing, Lord Varada will come and sit beside him. And he used to have a friendly chat. Friendly chat. So like that. So one day what happened? Okay, why I'm telling you this story is related to this. One day what happened? Everybody like Ramanujacharya and other acharyas will go and tell Tirukachi Nambi, can you find out from Varadaraj about this and that? So he will talk to Lord Varadaraj and next day he will come and inform them. This. So one day Tirukachi Nambi start to realize. And he start to realize, well, then after that he asked Varadaraj, Varada, do you think I can go back to Godhead in this birth? Varadaraj, because he's having a personal conversation with the Lord Varadaraj Vishnu. Varadaraj is Vishnu, okay, Varada. So he said, do you think I'll get a chance of going back home after my death? I come to you. And you know what Lord Varadaraj says? No. And he got a shock. No? I'm talking Varada. I'm seeing you every day. I'm having a conversation with you every day. And now you're telling I don't qualify? No. Why? Because you have not served my devotees. Please mark my word. What did Lord Varadaraj say? Even Lord Varadaraj and Kanchipura or the Tirukachi Nambi have a personal conversation. But there he said, you cannot come to Vaikuntha because you have not served my devotees. He got a shock. And what happened? He went to one house. I forgot his name. There is a spiritual master of Ramanujacharya who gave him the secret mantra, Om Namo Narayana. What is his name? Tirukachi Nambi. I can't recall his name. Spiritual master. He went to his house. He's a great Acharya. And Ramanujacharya went and took initiation from him. And he gave the mantra. He told Ramanuja, I give you this mantra, say it very softly. It's a secret mantra. Whoever chants this mantra will go straight to Vaikuntha. All their sins will be destroyed. Make sure you don't say it to anybody, okay? Then he just ushered in tears. And to get that mantra, what they call Ramanujacharya went to see him 7 times. First time we go, he said, not now, go. And after that, he came back again. Can you imagine you have to travel from one corner to another corner? Those days, it's one corner to another corner is at least 6-7 hours of walk. He walked or by bullock cart. He just traveled so far. And the spirit said, no, go next time. Like that, he went 7 times. On the 7th time, the master felt it so bad and he says, never mind, now I tell you the mantra, but make sure you don't tell anyone, okay? All right? All right, then he says, okay, what is the mantra? Come here, come here. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. You got it? Yes. And after he heard that mantra, Ramanujacharya went into great ecstasy. He went to this one temple. I'm not sure which place. My memory is getting mixed up. So he went to temple. He climbed up the main building, and he started to call everybody. Everybody, please. I've got some important thing. I've got a good news for everyone. Everybody gather. Come. When he shouted everybody, he didn't shout, oh Vaishnava, oh Brahmana, oh Vaishya, Kshatriya, only come. Vaishya, the business people, Shudra, and the low caste, get out. Only the high caste come. He didn't say that. He said, everybody come. And all the people from all walks of life gathered there. All the people from all walks of life there. He said, you know something? I have just heard a big secret. From my spiritual master. If you know the secret, you will be devoid of sin. All your sin will be gone. And you go straight to Bhaktiyaloka. I want all of you to chant this secret mantra. And please spread it everywhere. He said, everybody looking. So, Swami, what mantra? Listen carefully. Om Namo Narayanaya. He screamed. Mentioned to everybody. And everybody started to sing, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo. Everybody started chanting. And that spiritual master was very angry. He called up, summoned him. He said, you, I told you to keep it a secret. Everybody, you will go to hell for that. And Ramanuja says, my dear spiritual master, Guru Maharaj, I'd rather go to hell. When all these people can go back to Vaikuntha, I am ready to go to hell. Let everybody go back to Vaikuntha. And that's when the spiritual master started to realize, oh, he's not an ordinary person. And he praised him and he embraced him. So such a spiritual master is so highly elevated. So what happened? This Tirukkachi Nambi wants to go and serve him. But that master has a very high regards on Tirukkachi Nambi. Even though he is born from a Chettiar family, Vaishya, but he has a very high regard because he's such a great devotee of the Lord. If he's just going to go like this, nobody will accept his service. Because he's so exalted devotee. Can you imagine? Suddenly when an exalted devotee comes to your house, can I be your maid servant? Will you allow? No. So what happened? He came and said, he went to him and said, I'm looking for a job. Is it okay if I work for you? He said, you look like so well built. You look like aristocrat. Are you jobless? Yeah, I'm jobless. Please, Swami. Please let me engage in your service. All right. Then he said, what service? Are you good in taking care of cows? He said, yes, I'm good in cows. Then go to my cow hut and look after my cows. Say, thank you so much. Then he was incognito. He changed his appearance. Then he started to look after the cows. All right. He was taking care of the cows so nicely. And then this Swami says, wow, you're so expert in looking after cows. Wow, very good, very good. He was very happy with it. One day, he took the cow for grazing. All right. So when all the cows came back, and this cow, I think mother cow, the cow didn't come back. He went and looked for it, and he found. And that time heavy rain, and rain was so bad until this Swami was wondering, where is my cow, and where is this guy Tirukkachi Nambi? Because he doesn't know. He said, where is this man? He has taken my cow for grazing. Why hasn't he come back? Has he got into flood? Has he gone into trouble? That Swami became he was in anxiety. So he went and looked for it. He went and got some search party, looked for it, and somehow or other they settled down. When he went, he started to see his true color. You know why? The cow, he was waiting under the tree. He took out his mask, the cloth, and he covered the cow because thinking the cow will be cold. So he took out all his thing and covered the cow. And that time, that Swami came and saw, Tirukachinambi, what are you doing? You came and pretended to be my servant. I'm so sorry, Tirukachinambi, please. No, Swami. If I come like that, definitely, you won't let me in. Because Varadaraj told me that I have not served the devotees. Therefore, I don't qualify. So I gave me the opportunity for, thank you for serving, allowing me to serve you. So what happened? This kind of great Swami, who is a spiritual master of Varadaraj, never underestimated this Tirukachinambi as a low caste. And Ramanujacharya also did the same thing. He never disregarded him. Right? So then until he told his wife, this Tirukachinambi is coming, prepare meal for him. So he said, yeah, these people got nothing else to do. So when Tirukachinambi came, he asked him to sit on the veranda, on the balcony. So sit there, don't come in. He gave the food, and that time Ramanuja went out. And he came back. Then after that, he just gave it in that vassal, outside, just asked him to go. But when Ramanuja came, he said, where is he? Oh, yes, he didn't go. Really? Oh, I'm late. I would like to take the Mahaprasad. Where is the Mahaprasad? What Mahaprasad? The remnants. What remnants? All I throw away, I wash everything. Now I'm going to cook for you something fresh. And he got very angry. And that made him somehow or other reject his wife and became a sannyas. And it's Ramanujacharya. Then again, another story is, if you all know that Raghavendra Swami. Sri Raghavendra is one of the branch of our Sampradaya, Madhvacharya. We are Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. So in Madhva Sampradaya, there's a lot of branches. So one of that branch of this Madhva Sampradaya is Sri Raghavendra Swami. You know that movie that Rajinikanth acted, Raghavendra. And that Raghavendra also the same thing. He went and served all this, all that boy. Suddenly he saw one boy, a cowherd boy, and it's like from a lower caste. He could chant the mantra. He was so fascinated. He invited him. All the Brahmana boys ran out. So what we understand here, only the Vaishnava culture will not disregard. Will not take that the caste consideration if they have proper knowledge. All right. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, imagine he wrote this, all right, around 150 years ago. Imagine a kind of revolution that he's creating. So he says, this kind of eternal Varnashram Dharma is always to be followed. It is often useful for devotional service. All right. So when we come to devotional service, we simply utilize what is our nature. We do not disregard people according to the birth they have taken or the family they appeared. It's the most important is their characteristic and how are they purified. So members of these four Varnas and lower castes, members of the four Varnas and the lower castes should be eager to progress their sattvic nature. What do you mean? So those of the four Varnas and also the lower castes, what they should do? They should be eager to progress their sattvic nature or the nature mode of goodness. All right. What are the people like, for instance, certain kind of people are allowed. Like, for instance, Shudras are allowed to drink, Shudras and the outcasts, they are allowed to eat meat and allowed to drink wine. Right? So now I'm born in that kind of family. In my family, from the day one, I've been eating meat and I've been drinking alcohol. But now I have to progress. So I have to give up all these things and I have to come to the level of sattvic. So now what we can see from here, in this material world, almost 99.9% are people born from outcast background. We can call ourselves as Devar, Mudaliyar, Chettiar, Nair, Naidu, whatever. We can just claim ourselves ready. We can just go on saying whatever background that we are from. But since we all have lived a life by eating meat and also by consuming alcohol, basically, not me, not we. Okay, I'm not saying any one of you. I'm just saying myself. Like even though born in this kind of so-called very high rank Chettiar background, but I realize my whole generation were the outcast. Right? Because during my heydays, my grandfather's heyday, business heyday, we had something like 30, 40 workers working in our shop. We had around 10 workers working in the house as a maid servant. And therefore my grandfather thinks, he find the cook in Malaysia not good. He brought the cook from India, and he used to slaughter a goat every Wednesday, right? To satisfy, because he got a cook, he used to kill his own goat. He buy a goat, kill it, and cook for everyone. And therefore, what I can see, my grandfather loves to drink, so that means I am pretty sure that I came from outcast background. So it is quite common to be born as an outcast, or being an outcast in this material world. In Kali Yuga, basically, 99.9% people from that kind of background. So we should not remain in that outcast situation by artificially addressing ourselves as Chettiar, Nair, Telugu, what they call Mudaliyar, Devar, Gounder, or whatever. We should not artificially claim ourselves. The only thing that you can claim that when you come to the level of Sattvic. When you become to the level of Sattvic, mode of goodness. So in the mode of goodness, you engage in devotional service. In how? According to your mode. Okay. That means I am a Devar. Devar people are basically, they are Kshatriyas. They are the people, they used to keep a long beard. They are all very brave and powerful people. So once they become a devotee, they should be holding the post in the temple. They should be taking care of the temple. They should be protecting the temple. Devar. Gounders, they are basically more into like farming and all these things. So these are the people who should be thinking about bringing vegetables to the temple and everything. Chettiars, they are basically a merchant, businessman. So they'll be thinking about how they can think of creating money for the temple, not by creating business, but going and distributing books, distributing literature, encouraging people, preaching, all these kind of things they have to do. And say if a person born from the Shudra background, all right? So once they become a Sattvic Shudra, so they have to come to the temple and make the temple clean, right? So like that, all the 4 division of people they can come to their original constitutional birth. When you're born in such a family, you maintain that and serve Krishna. All have to come to the Sattvic level, not by artificially claiming I born in this, I born in that, create a sangha, create this, create that, Like for instance, I'm okay, I don't want to quote anybody, I just quote myself, right? I came from my grandmother's side is my father's side is half Chettiar and half Pillai, right? And my great grandfather is like Natame, right? It's even there is a museum. I don't mention the name where, but there's one particular city, there's a museum. My great grandfather's name is there, and everything, where they came from. My mother's side, right? Half Malayali and half Chettiar. So what happened? I have been encouraged to join this Pillaival, what Vellalar Pillai Sangam. I say, yeah, since you're half Pillai, then Chettiar, Panjaputur Ayar, we say Chettiar Sangam. Then the Malayali Association came and called me. You should join the Malayali Association. But I'm not a Malayali, but still you got a little bit of Malayali, just join the Malayali Sangam. So what is this? To create a groupism, to blow our own horn, to show our supremacy against others, the supremacy of our language, supremacy of our descendant. What is this for? Because once we come to the Vaishnava Sangha, first of all, we understand. Yesterday example I gave, right? In fact, I was meditating on that. I was just like, Krishna really reminded me, just like the crown. In the crown, there's many tiaras. I am an Indian. I am a this thing. I am a male. I am this, like that. There's so many tiaras and so many diamonds around, full of false ego. What this tiara is going to do? You can't. When you're young time, you can keep the tiara. All right, very nice. You can keep the crown. As you get older, the crown is becoming heavier. You can't even carry the thing. Eventually, the crown will be put aside and we are dead. You understand? So what is that? So what we supposed to do? So I say nothing doing. So I'm considered like a terrorist. That's why none of my family members will come and talk to me about this, because first of all, I'm not interested. There's another on the 24th of May, there's the family temple, the Natama family. And they said, your son is the 7th generation Natama. I say, so you all must come. I say, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Right? And my mother said, no, you have to represent your father. I said, no. For what? Are we going to get bhakti there? No, we're going to get a big fat ego. Big fat ego. Because once we go to that place, all the people, the people around, they all will going to come and they going to know, oh, this person is from that family. Oh, look at that, they are from that family. And when we walk so tall with a chest raised, and we're going to have a big fat ego. And in fact, among the family groups and all this, I just told them I am not interested because I don't agree to this kind of principle. Because this principle is against, it's not being mentioned or in the sastras. So some of my family, I say, I can't be bothered. So like that. So we have to remember, okay? So as now we are all on our path back home, back to Godhead, somehow or other, when you're here enthusiastic, why you enthusiastic? Somewhere subtly in your mind, there is a thought that you all wants to become a pure devotee of Krishna, right? Even though, as I said, fake it till you make it. As you aspire to inspire, you must perspire. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, no, I shouldn't say you. I look at myself in the mirror and ask, are you sure you really can go back home, back to Godhead? With all your attitude, your character, the way you do, definitely a big fat NO. I definitely cannot go back home, back to Godhead because I'm that fallen. But what I did, I artificially had the desire. I'm faking it. I want to go back home, back to God. Right? Then I start to think, okay, if you drew through if I used to be a motivational speaker and I used to tell you can do it. Now I'm thinking, why not? I just change it and just to have that kind of motivation. Yes, I definitely will go back home, back to God. When I can listen. So that's when I start to write down, I start to create. It took me 8.4 million lifetime to be here. It took me so much of opportunity for me to read and study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktiyaloka. Can you imagine? Among all the books, we are the only one. It's not out of ego. Please forgive me. I'm not saying out of ego. But in Malaysia, I think we are the only one discussing Bhaktiyaloka. You listen. I think in the entire world, we are among the top 10 people. There's nobody. Bhaktiyaloka, you can go and Google it. How many of them are speaking Bhaktiyaloka? No. I think we are the rare ones. So the Bhakti Vinod Thakur has already given us blessing. Speak about my literature. And we were blessed by Srila Bhakti, Prabhupada Bhakti Vedanta Swami. We got all. So that means now we are known, right? So now what you should do? So we are considered very fortunate, right? So I should follow the practice. So what is my hindrance? This caste nonsense, this family tradition nonsense, this kind of what they call status nonsense. All this nonsense, throw it out. I'm telling myself, I throwing it out. Me and my descendant shall not practice this at any cost. So my family members sometimes, some of my aunties and uncles get very angry. Yeah, one day I'll see who your children are going to marry. I said, I don't care who they marry. They can marry the most lowest among the lowest, untouchable. My criteria is one. He must be a devotee of the Lord. As long as he's devotee of the Lord, my requirement is fulfilled. If they're going to marry a biggest millionaire Karni, I'll be totally against it. All right? So my criteria is devotee. Right? Oh, you have been brainwashed. Yes, I got so many rubbish in my head. I got so much of rubbish and it's already washed. Of course, there's some argument. Anyway, I'm going out of the topic. So like that. Right? So I'm reminding myself. Okay? So now if you think, oh, I cannot listen to you, I cannot agree to you, it's okay if you don't agree with me or not. Because I am not giving my opinion, I'm giving opinion from what Bhakti Vinod Thakur is mentioning here. Right? And based on how I am practicing it. But worth to take the effort. Whether you can give up this kind of thinking or what, that's different, secondary. But at least try to evolve yourself to sattvic level. Sattvic level. So once you can evolve yourself to the sattvic level, right? So you can utilize whatever your background in the service of Krishna. So that is the thought, right? So the thought is not to create a kind of revolution to say everyone is equal and no, we are not interested. There's only two options. Bhakti Vinod Thakur said there's only two things, devotee or non-devotee. Under the non-devotee, there's Mayavadi, there's Jnani, there's Karmi. All right, devotee, whether you are what they call Kanishta, Madhyama or Uttama. Only that three. So that's why even people come into the level of Kanishta who have so much of attitude problem, misbehavior, and disrespectful. They only respect the deity, but they don't respect anybody. They are much more elevated from a well-behaved karmi. Sometimes they say, right, my dear Prabhus and mothers, sometimes they say, oh, looks like the non-devotees are well-behaved compared to the devotees. See, that fellow is not even a devotee. It's so good. And look at this fellow. Tila, Sita, and got terrible attitude problem. Right? So we must understand from this. There's only two extreme points. This extreme point, it's very dangerous to go. But this extreme point also where, because we are conditioned. Even we have a Kanishta. That's why Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, and Rupa Goswami is telling, when you see a Kanishta, you shouldn't be angry. We just respect them through your mind. Pay obeisances. Don't go and tell them, I would like to do something. I would like to take initiation. Please kindly bless me. Don't do all these kind of things. You must remember with whom you are dealing with. Right? The day I had a conversation because I just remembered, hey, the person, whoever understand, hope you understand. So you do not need to go and simply respect you show your respect in your mind. All right? Oh, there's a devotee. Oh, just respect. Just smile. Yeah. You do not need to sit with them. You don't need to associate with them. But when you see Madhyama Adhikari, when you go to temple, immediately you fall down and offer him obeisances. If you see Uttama Adhikari, you show obeisances in any place that you are in. You are in the middle of the road, you see one stick, you fall down and show your dandavat. Of course, make sure there's no kala. So immediately, so that's the thing. So we should be very careful. Whatever background, we have to always think about going to the sattvic level. All right? And that process. And how to go to the sattvic level? When you have so much of conditioning, change your condition. How are you going to change your condition? Right? Say, like, for instance, I want to make it big in life. Right? So I have to tell myself, I am so happy I'm a millionaire. I can do it. I'm a millionaire. I can do it. I'm doing this business, and today I'm going to get this much of people. Keep saying again and again. That's why the Buddhist says, if you go to say the lie 1,000 times, it will turn into mantra. Keep lying. I can do it. I'm a millionaire. I'm very beautiful. I'm very handsome. I'm marrying the most beautiful girl. I'm marrying the most handsome man. This and that. Because this is what I used to teach in my mind science program. Now I stopped doing it anyway. So all these kind of things. Why? Because the mind understands through instruction. And how the instruction comes out. You know, when I speak, what is actually happening? My tongue is vibrating. My tongue is vibrating and my tooth is somehow adjusting. The word is coming out. So that means the mind understands through vibration. Yes or not? When you see somebody, when you see a young girl, when you see a young child, you just look at the child right into the face and say, you know, my dear child, you are a stupid boy. Right? You are stupid. You know how much the child can get affected. What affected him? His eyes affected? His hands affected? His ears? No. The word in vibration goes and get deep into himself and pollute his mind, and the mind starts to think, oh, useless, finish. So that means how? We have to recondition. When we are conditioned in these kind of things, we have to condition. And how the conditioning happen? All right? How the reconditioning happen? Reconditioning happen through vibration. Vibration. That is why we should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we are keep chanting again and again and again, 16, 20, 25, 80, 100, 120, you go on chanting your rounds massively. Depends how much hungry you are. Right? If you're not hungry, you just take a small prashadam, small morsel. But if you are hungry like a horse, you just go there and you take a big plate and you put all varieties of prashadam and eat to your full satisfaction. So now the depends is how hungry are you to go back home, back to Godhead? How frustrated are you to go back home, back to Godhead? You know, how frustrated are you in this material condition of life? It's all you have to make the decision. So Prabhupada have set a standard, minimum 16. When he say minimum 16 means it's not to stay in 16. Oh, I'm chanting 16 rounds. How long? 30 years. What the point? 30 years, you're still keeping your minimum, maintaining minimum. Then Just think, check and balance. Am I progressing? 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, chanting 16. No, you're not progressing. I mean, so I'm not progressing. I shouldn't say you. I'm not progressing because in this Zoom call, I'm only seeing myself and I'm talking to myself. I'm not progressing. I am being stagnant. So how hungry I am to go back to God. How hungry I am. And how that is it. So here it says, even if an outcast become fortunate, we are all, I am an outcast. All right. Even if I have eaten all varieties of animals except beef. I have drank alcohol. So I am an outcast. Those who drink wine, those who eat non-vegetarian food or meat, they are called outcast. I have done that. So now I have become fortunate. Right? How the fortunate happened? Because of his pious deeds. Okay? If an outcast becomes fortunate due to his pious deeds, then he should progress his cultivation of goodness while following the conduct of a Shudra. Yes. So that means a person even born in the Shudra, you should, as I said just now, if you want to come to the subject, go to become a devotee, you utilize your, if you're a Shudra, but you have a mind of Brahmana, you are a Shudra Brahmana, something, right? Just as I said just now. So like that. So here it says he should progress his cultivation of goodness while following the conduct of a Shudra. While maintaining the standard of Shudra, we still cultivate in the mode of goodness. The 4 basic things is required. No meat eating at any cost. No intoxication. No gambling. And no illicit sex. If you can follow these 4, you are already evolving out of Shudrahood, Malichahood. First, you are out of Malicha. Then we are coming out of Shudra. And eventually, we will go to the level of Brahman. All right. Now it's 10:28. Shall we just take a short break? I hope the message is not so heavy here. Oh my God. It's supposed to go slow. Is it all tolerable, my dear Prabhus and mothers? Or am I going too heavy? Or should I slow down a bit? So thumbs up means what? Slow down? Should I go slow down or what?
Okay, Prabhu. Your thing is okay, Prabhu. The speed is okay, understandable, tolerable, Prabhu. Formula, Prabhu. Formula, Prabhu.
Okay, not just talking about the message. Is it too heavy? Nanda Mataji, you have seen you unmute.
No. Okay, Prabhu. Can understand. Just that need to really straightforward.
No. I am just repeating Bhaktiyaloka. I'm not saying anything. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, because I feel like I got overwhelmed, I think you better take a short break and I'll get back to you. Okay. Now, so now what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, everyone should give prominence to devotional service and progress. The cultivation of goodness in the platform Nirguna. What is Nirguna? Right? Okay. Nirguna means the transcendence. Okay. So that means everyone should give prominence, right, to devotional service, to progress, the cultivation of goodness, and to the platform of Nirguna. Okay. Or transcendental position. Okay. And that is by the mercy of the devotees. Right. So mercy of the devotees. So I like to give one incident happen in Ipoh. There's one particular devotee who have this kind of such a big fat ego. He is a terrible caste conscious person, despite being initiated and despite all these things. And whoever that he meets, he talks. Then after that, when I go to visit, he just called me up and say, that flow from that caste, this flow. Say, what are you doing? What are you talking? So now what happened? He is no more coming to the temple. He just like gone. So sometimes when we going to check on devotees' background of being their caste and all these things, it can be very, very offensive, right? So please get rid of this, at least in addressing the devotees. All right, please. It's very dangerous. Okay, now, so it's by the mercy, because only by the mercy of devotees only we can come to the level of nirguna. Okay, without the mercy of the devotees, because only the devotees can encourage you. The Vedas are speaking, they are written, but the devotees don't that encouraging. Yes, so only we can come to the level of nirguna by the mercy of the devotees. These stages are called Sanatan Dharma. So now this is what they call Sanatan Dharma, right? Not by addressing people by birth and this. And whenever you see there are a lot of haters out there, so we understand. Of course, another thing, dear Prabhus and mothers, we are studying this for our own relishment, our own nourishment, in our own inspiration, for our own enthusiasm. All right, just to be very enthusiastic to go back home, back to Godhead. Devotional service is an active activity. It is not a passive activity. Right? We are not simply sitting on play, meditate and all this. So we are actively involved. So when we are actively involved, so be actively involved in devotional service. Please remember this one thing deep in yourself, that after so many lifetimes, you got this opportunity. Don't miss out with any of these kind of what they call with any of this kind of understanding or ideology. Always strive to come to the level of nirguna or the transcendental platform. So with devotion, the member of any varna, now Bhakti Vinod Thakur is creating a revolution. When Bhakti Vinod Thakur's son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, spoke about this very vocally until the caste conscious Smarta Brahmanas wanted to kill him. They were about to kill him. Okay, the same thing happened even to Ramanuja. That means they have sacrificed their life and they took a great risk because they could just simply keep quiet and try to be popular. But they went into this what they call unpopular kind of environment just to make the point. All right. So like that. So when we talk about Sanatan Dharma, this is what the Sanatan Dharma. All right. So with devotion, a member of any varna, okay, a member of any varna, mark this word, please underline. Member of any varna, okay, they can be the Brahmana or they can be the terrible outcast. Any varna, all right, is considered the best of Brahmanas. You got it? Not the Brahmanas that by birth, all right, with devotion. Okay, he can come from any kind of background, but if this thing is considered to be the best of Brahmanas, all right, then Bhakti Vinod Thakur also is warning, without devotion, the life of a Brahmana fixed in goodness is useless. That means you see a Brahmin people who are naturally in the mode of goodness, but there's no devotion, it's considered useless. For example, let us consider the statement. Some Mahatma said that Srila Narottam Das Thakur from Prema Bhakti Chandrika, okay, some Mahatma have said, okay, now Bhakti Vinod Thakur is creating, considering one statement, all right, what he says here like this. Mahajanera ye pata tate hoiva anurata urva para kariya vichar. I will be attached to the path chalked out by the previous and later Mahajans. Okay, I'll be attached to the path chalked out by the previous and later Mahajans. So that means I'll be attached to the path that as chalk means, you take the chalk and write on the blackboard. I don't know where young people have seen the whiteboard, blackboard and chalk, right? That's the meaning of chalk, that means, right, making a plan. So I'll be attached to the path that has been created by the previous and also later Mahajan. Who is Mahajan means great devotees, right? Or Mahajanam. Jana means people. Janangal. In Tamil we call Janam. Janata Piparina. Bhakta Janam. Jana. Jana means people. So Mahajana means great people. All right. The Rishi and Mahatmas who have taught conduct before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are counted among the previous Mahajans. Who are they? The people, the Rishis and the Mahatmas. Mahatma means great soul, who have taught conduct before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All right, those who are Rishis and Mahatmas that have taught the way of life before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are counted among the previous Mahajan. Okay, the conduct seen in Mahajan. Now, after that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is mentioning another point. The conduct seen in the Mahajans after the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the conduct of later Mahajan. Are you clear? The older Mahajan and the later Mahajan. The older Mahajan is the one who taught before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The older. The later Mahajan is the one who after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The commentary, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Narottam Das Thakur, Bhakti, all this, we are talking about later Mahajan. Or maybe in a Christian language, we can say Old Testament, New Testament. But anyway, the conduct of the later Mahajan, okay, please mark this word, is superior and should be adopted. What does that mean? Maybe the conduct of later Mahajan, right? They can have this kind of strong statement about this kind of systems or way of life, bhakti, meditation, this kind of abhishek, the way that you should do, all these are older Mahajan. All right. But now, Bhakti, what they call, what is it? Narottam Das Thakur is saying, but the conduct of the later Mahajan, no, not talking that. Sorry, I will attach to the previous Mahajan. Okay. No, this is mentioned by Bhakti. Okay, from here, the Rishi and Mahatmas. Okay, this is the commentary of what they call Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So now Bhakti Vinod Thakur saying that the conduct of the later Mahajan is superior and should be adopted. So the conduct of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers is meant to teach people. So that conduct should be followed in all respect. So now after that, whatever things that we learned from our previous Acharya, especially after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to be adopted. That's why when you see under the Madhvacharya, they have a different, like we have Raghavendra Swami, like there's a lot of branches. But we are, one of the branch is under the, what they call? Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava, Brahma Gaudiya. So under the Brahma Gaudiya, this became Gaudiya after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted this. All right. So what is that different? Number one, those who worship Vishnu are known as Vaishnava. Number two, those who pray to Krishna, worship Krishna, are known as Karsha. Number three, those who worship Radharani are known as Gaudiya. So we are the Gaudiyas. Right? We are all eager to become the maid servant of Srimati Radharani. Under that context, when Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Krishna appeared here, along with Radharani in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came, all the Sakis, everybody came. But he came one of the principal Sakis. Right? One of the principal Manjari. The Manjari in charge of this department, that Prema Bhakti. The Manjari that in charge of this, there's a lot of department, right? See, in a kingdom and the king, you say there's a defense department, there is a agriculture department like that. So the head of department of Prema, all right, or Parakya Bhakti, or the loving exchange, the confidential part of this Krishna and Radha and Krishna, the one who headed is by Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari. And under the department of Rupa Manjari, all the descendants from Rupa Manjari, like Kamala Manjari, is by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All his department, all the people under his department, all start to appear and becoming our Acharya. That's why Rupa Manjari has become Rupa Goswami. Right? like our Bhakti Vinod Thakur is Kamala Manjari, is one of the in that department. So we are going through the Rupa Manjari. That's why we are known as Rupa Nugas. We are known as, under the Gaudiya this thing, we are all known, even you go to the, what they call, Gaudiya Math or any of the division under this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are all known as Rupa Nuga, the followers of Rupa Goswami. Right? So under the Rupa Nuga, it is called Raga Nuga. Rupa Nuga, we talk about Raga Nuga Bhakti. We will study that in our Nectar of Devotion. All right, so it has been, so it should be followed by all respect. So we are all under the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, under the tutelage, or under the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Right? So what is that proper occupation? To know this, one should see the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers. Or what is the proper occupation? To know this, one should see the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's follower. As far as possible, I will try to briefly compile them in this essay. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, as far as is possible, we try to compile it in this essay. First, I will write about the behavior and occupation. Right? He's going to write about behavior and occupation of Grihastha. Okay? As found in the characteristic of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. So now he's going to write on Grihastha, how a married man should be. Okay? As a support of this devotional service, as a support for this devotional service, a householder should find a suitable wife. That's very important, right? That's why in those days, the father and mother is the one who chooses a wife or a husband. Okay, especially now you're talking about wife. Because the parents have seen, they know the son's character. Number two, they have seen life because they are quite matured. But we are in cloud nine because we are first time falling in love. So we may make mistake, right? So first of all, they should. So the parents usually will get a good suitor according to the one can suits the boy, the son, the one who can suits the family. But nowadays is different, right? Before marriage itself, we start to have girlfriend, and at the end of the day, we marry that girlfriend, right? And some more, like that day, talking about this, I just remembered around a few days ago, just a week ago, my mom was telling, my uncle is lamenting because his daughters are not married. And you know what he said? If even they choose their own, I'll be very happy. That also they don't want to do. They want us to do it. And I asked, so what's the problem? Just get a good boy for them. No. In the future, if anything goes wrong, I don't want to be blamed. So now the parents are not taking responsibility. They don't want to be blamed. In the future, if the wife or girl doesn't act well, the son will turn back and say, you choose that girl. They don't want that kind of possibility. They say, let them choose their own spouse. Right? So it's all terbalik already. Anyway, now I'm going out of topic again. So first of all, the first thing in devotional service, a householder should find a suitable wife. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 15, text 26-27, the Lord says, Grihastha ilama, ebe chohi gruho dharmo, gruhini vina gruha dharmo, na hoya shobana. Since I'm remaining at home, it is my duty to act as Grihastha. Without a wife, there is no meaning of a householder life. Okay? So that means if you think you want to be a householder, you must have a wife. If there's no wife, that means there's no meaning for householder life. While living in one's wife and maintaining religious family life, Krishna's servants and maid servants are born in the form of sons and daughters. Can you see that? While we are living with one's wife and maintaining religious family life. Now we're maintaining the standard of religiosity in the family life. So Krishna's servants and maid servants, Manjaris, Sakis, are born in the form of sons and daughters. Can you see that? All right. So when we see that if we practice devotional service and we marry a wife and serves Krishna, right? This thing, we see that all these kind of Krishna servants, maid servants will come and take birth to further nourish this thing. That's why my spiritual master used to say, Swami said, all of you are devotees and all your children are Vaikunta Vasis. All right. So that was the talk happened during my initiation. During my initiation, Guru Maharaj was giving a class. In that class, my wife was that time was like not so serious devotee. She's like in, out, she's not, because I married a non-devotee. So at the time, my eldest girl was born. And also second was born, yeah. They was young. My eldest, I think, should be around 4 or 5 years old at that time. So Guru Maharaj, out of sudden, he looked straight to my wife and telling, she felt so uneasy. Imagine when a person look at you and start talking in front of everybody, it's such an exalted person. In that class, Guru Maharaj said, all the children of you, all the devotees' children are not an ordinary children. They are all Vaikunta Vas. That means these are the people coming from Vaikunta. All right. For instance, okay, what we can understand, of course, I need to go out of topic a bit because to explain this. You only can make a decision of going back home, back to Godhead in this planet Earth, Manlogam. You cannot make the decision in heavenly planet. You cannot make the decision even in Vaikunta planet. You can't even make the decision even in hellish planet. Only in this place. Therefore, all the devas sometimes come and take birth in the human form and practice bhakti to go back to Vaikunta or to go back to Goloka. This is the place, conducive environment, this material world. So, say like for instance, if you end up in Vaikunta Loka, all right, you go to Vaikunta, okay, like Gopakumar, all right, there's a story of Gopakumar. Right, he somehow or other ended up in Vaikunta Loka. And the time he saw everybody looks like Vishnu with 4 hands and Swarupa Moksha. All look like Vishnu, all with 4 hands, bluish form, beautiful form and everything. And that time they were conducting a prayer. And he went there. He saw a magnificent and gorgeous Lord Narayana standing there. And all of them were doing prayers. And he was just sitting and looking at him because Gopakumar and Krishna are good friends. Right? So he was just looking at him. And after that, Lord Narayana asked, yes, what are you looking at? I said, why aren't you with gopis and gopals and all the cows? Why are you standing here like a king? Where is that form? So he just smiled. But other Vaikunthavasi, the one who bring them or something like a tour guide, he told him and said, you cannot talk like that to Lord Narayana. He's the king. Bhaya Bhakti, awe and reverence. Pray, Bhaya thought of Bhakti. That means it's a worship of awe and reverence. Right? No, you cannot say like that. No, this is the form of the king. No, but where is my friend Krishna with his girlfriends, with Radharani, with all the cows and gopis and running around? Where's Mother Yashoda? I can't see any of them. Oh, you really want to go there? Yes. What is this place? He can't recognize that place. Even in Vaikunta, he couldn't recognize. And you know what is the tour guide? I forgot his name. Tour guide. Just saying tour guide. He said, in order to do that, you have to go back to material world again. You have to come down to material world and then only go back to Goloka, the place that you wanted. Yes, I'm ready to go back. So from Vaikunta Loka, he come back to this material world and practice sadhana. Then he went back to Goloka. So what happened? When this kind of devotees from Vaikunta Loka wants to elevate themselves back to Goloka Vrindavan, they have to come back to this material world. When they come back to this material world, they tend to take birth among this devotee family. All right, that's what is meant. Krishna's servant and maid servants are born in the form of sons and daughters. Or according to what my Guru Maharaj has said, all the Vaikunta Vasis, they are coming there for perfection and go back to Goloka Vrindavan. All right, so that's the thing. So, and nourishing them, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is mentioning here, and nourishing them is called maintaining the family, because he brought up, he had I think around many children. I'm not sure how many children, but he had 2 wives. Out of his second wife's first wife passed away, so his second wife, son, and one of the son is one of that Manjari, the maid servant of Krishna, born to him, and is none other than Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So he's mentioning this because nourishing them is called maintaining the family. That is what, not working hard to make sure they get a good education, give them a good dress, give them a good tuition, making them a doctor, making them an engineer. That is not maintaining a family. Maintaining a family means to bring them up, as to receive that maid servants and to cultivate them and nourish them. All right, that is called maintaining the family. So the pious acquisition of wealth is required. So to maintain them, a kind of earning and is required. And these required in this activity. In this regard, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said in Chaitanya Charita Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ante Lila, chapter 4, text 41. What did he say? And Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 15.96. He said, Prabhu Bole. Prabhu Bole means Prabhu said. Okay, like when you look at the in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Uvacha, Bhagavan Uvacha, and in Srimad Bhagavatam we see Rishi Ucho, Rishi Uvacha, Shaunaka Uvacha, Ucho or Uvacha. That means they say it. They were saying. But here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is in Bengali language. So it says Prabhu Bole. Prabhu Bole means he's speaking. Prabhu said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Parivara Aneka Tomar, Nirvaha Kemati Tabe Hoive Shabar, Grahasta Hoine Inho, Chahiye Sanchaya Na Hoile, Kutumba Varana Nahi Hoi. Right? So first he asked, Prabhu Bole. Prabhu asked, right? Bole, speak. He said, that means Prabhu is saying, Parivara Aneka Tomar, Nirvaha Kemati Tabe Hoive Sabar. That means the first thing here is a question mark. He asked a question. Right? Then Grahasta Hoini Inho, Chahi Sanchoyo, Sanchoyo no Koile Kudumba, Varana Noi Hoi. The Lord said, there are so many members in your family. How will you maintain everyone? All right? He asked, you have so many members in your family. How will you maintain everyone? Then after that he says, being a householder, one needs to save money, save some money. You have to save some money because he is not doing so. It is very difficult for him to maintain his family. Right? Sanchay na hoile Kudumba Baran. Kudumba Baram. In Tamil we call Baram. Kudumba Bharata yaar paakrathu? Kudumba Bharata nama paakano. Baran means heavy, weight. Kudumba Baram. So Kudumba Barana. Nahi hoile. So you say, if you have so many family, how are you going to maintain? You have to save some money. Alright, so you all must understand as a grasta, we cannot whimsically spend everything. We have to save some money. Because, and he's not doing so. That means there's a story that he's not doing so. So it is difficult for him to maintain. Okay, now, one must be educated. Now he says, one must be educated in a proper age. A person has to be educated at a proper age. But he should not study atheistic literature. Alright, but nowadays, in this current society, we are sending our children to school. Somehow or other, this country is quite spiritual and we are devoid of all this. But when you go to South India, right, especially in Tamil Nadu, and they are all training them up in atheistic religion. Right? They start to read about this Periyar. Another place now, I forgot his name. He came to Malaysia actually. I had an argument, and in fact, we took a selfie. I just couldn't find his photo. What is he? He's one of the big exponent of Periyar. Anbumani. Anbumani. All right? Anbumani. Because Anbumani had a family members here. So one of my friends' father, his father-in-law's cousin. So when I'm seeing, so we were talking about this. Then after that, he looked very humble, but when he's opened his mouth, it's full of venom, poison, right? So then, in that they study all these atheists. They are selling the children. That's why they say the modern education system is like a slaughterhouse for the children. You bring up your children so nicely. You send them to school, they come back with all bad behaviors. All right? I'm not saying to anyone, even in my family, even my own daughters, right? Even my son, I brought them up very spiritually. But after they go to school, now their character is totally out. You know, their character is totally out. Sometimes it is heartbreaking. Sometimes creating so much of fear in my heart. You know, I was thinking, oh my God, what? Why? What can I do? No, I made a biggest mistake. I should have sent to Gurukul. But the problem in Gurukul, any of the parents must be there. I cannot go to India and stay there. So, seeing all the children listening. So, it's all like a Prabhupada says, a slaughterhouse. They're going to teach them all these kind of bad character, bad behavior. But we just simply pray to Krishna, and some or other, my children just went just one round. I mean, it's just like as though they have to go through that experience and turn back. Right? And I really hope and pray that my children will definitely to become a pure devotee of the Lord. I used to tell my sons and children, I don't want you to become a millionaire. I just want all of you to become a pure devotee of the Lord. In fact, I'm encouraging my eldest girl just finish SPM. I told her I really like to go to Mayapur, join that Vaishnavi ashram, and maybe serve there as a full-time devotee. Right? So go and serve there as a full-time devotee and engage yourself. All right? Just give me a second. I got a call. Hello? Okay, sorry. My wife's checkup is finished. Or anyway, so where was I? So pray to Krishna. So I was telling you, so like I'm discouraging from being this thing. Okay, it's really not worth it. Right? So it's very important. And I'm just giving my opinion. Please don't take me wrong. All right. So should not study atheistic literature. In Chaitanya Bhagavad, Adi Leela, chapter 12, text 49. Madhya Leela, chapter 9, text 241 to 242. The Lord says, Pade kena loka Krishna bhakti jani bore se yadi nohilo tobe vidyaya ki kore vishaya mandanda sabe kichuina jone vidya made dana made vaishnava nachine bhagavato padiyauka ro buddhi nasho buddhi nasama pochi. What he says, why do people study? Why? Education is only for understanding devotional service of Krishna, of Lord Krishna. If you miss this point, then what is the use of the education? Everyone is blinded by pride and sense gratification. Being proud of their education and wealth, they fail to recognize the Vaishnava. If the studies of Srimad Bhagavatam is improperly, if Bhagavatam improperly is intelligent, if one studies Srimad Bhagavatam improperly, right? If you don't study the Srimad Bhagavatam not correctly, is intelligent, is polluted. Right? Is thus polluted. So that's very important. All right. So we stop the session here. It's already 11. Please mark the book first. So let's open for a question. Raste Mahaprabhu Sikhe. All right. Grahastra. Where is it? Grahastre Mahaprabhu. Grahastre Mahaprabhu. So in Chaitanya, okay, serving guests as the principal duty. Okay, serving guests. Okay. This is another topic. Right. Now we have already covered about getting married and having children, how to bring up the children. Now another characteristic of a grahastha is serving the devotee. Serving guests is the principal duty of grahastha. Okay, that's a new topic. So we will continue this next week, Monday. Today is Friday. Oh my God! See how fast the time run, right? Okay. So there is just now a person have already sent me a message saying that she wants to really learn nectar of devotion after Harinam Chintamani, right? So the message is very overwhelming and she really wants it, right? So, okay, so we see that the highest vote is coming to Srimad Bhagavatam. So what I am thinking, I'm just contemplating, of course, but all of you decide. Yes, Kesavan, you want to say something?
Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, is there any sequence in studying the Shastra, Prabhu? Because you put the voting for after this, need to study the Harinam Chintamani, Srimad Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion. Is there any sequence or how, Prabhu, this one?
No sequence. Actually, everything Bhagavatam says, like Srimad Bhagavatam is the king of all Puranas. All right, and it's a natural commentary. It is very, very auspicious to study Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? At the same time, Bhagavad Gita, there's no sequence. But the real sequence is like, now you say, okay, like in Bhagavad Gita ends in Dharma, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Give up all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. And now the baton, 4 times 4, when they run, they send the baton. And the baton is accepted by, the second step is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam says first Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Parama Nirma Sharanam Shatam. Now give up all religion. What? Bhagavad Gita ended, Srimad Bhagavatam starts. Give up all varieties of religion. All varieties. Then start from there. And where the Srimad Bhagavatam ends, the ultimate duty of these people in Kali Yuga is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Other than this, there's no other way. Then the baton is passed to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita is going to speak about the glories of chanting the holy name of the Lord.
Okay. Understand, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, since this Mataji sent me a very overwhelming and the message I don't like to share, but I just say that what I feel overwhelmed and you see. So what I'm feeling, will it be okay after we finish Harinam Chitta? Because Harinam Chittamani, I'm very sure it's going to finish fast. It's not going to drag a lot. It's only a conversation. We're just going to study the conversation. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at these possibilities of maybe 3 days Srimad Bhagavatam, 2 days we study Nectar of Devotion. We study 2 books in a week, right? Because Nectar of Devotion, it will take something like around 500 pages. Maybe it takes roughly like this book takes 100 pages, 100 pages itself takes 30 days, right? Maybe take 3 months, 3 months to complete Nectar of Devotion. Because Nectar of Devotion, since we have studied Nectar of Instruction with Bhaktiyaloka, Nectar of Devotion is most of the things in Nectar of Devotion is here. So we are looking at the possibilities, maybe 1 month, 1.5 months, right? So 3 days of Bhagavatam, 2 days of Nectar of Devotion. So this is only my contemplation to please everyone's burning desire in education. Yes, Vaishnava Prabhu?
All the 4 directions or only 2, Prabhu?
Everything, Prabhu, all.
Okay.
A to Z. A to Z. Because everyone will only study the first part, right? The Eastern division. We're going to read about Eastern, Northern, Southern, and Western. It's just like geography. Right? We're going to study in Srimad Bhagavatam, right?
The trouble is, Prabhu, Nectar of Devotion, there's no English meaning for the Sanskrit words now.
Yeah. Nectar of Devotion is mellow of devotional service.
No,
Bhakti
you want to know the meaning, certain meaning, but there's no English meaning now.
Of course, Sanskrit is very. So like that. Then or else we do. But it depends, because Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire 18 canto, 12 canto, and 18 is going to take at least 1 year, 1.5 years of daily studies. Of course, when you're studying 2 hours, we should be finishing quickly. I mean, not finishing completely, completing quickly. So I still open for conversation. Okay, I'm not going to, because I am your servant, I just follow your instruction. So you can all create a conversation in the group, WhatsApp group, and give your opinion. And all of you will come to one decision, and I will just simply follow the decision. All right, I'm not going to say, I want to do this, right? I'm just merely a servant. And of course, Mataji, I think, there's one Mataji also says she wants to study this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita, all you study, my God. I think you will say 2 hours not enough. When I was studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, without us realizing, we were talking for 8 hours. It is that soothing, and you'll never get tired. All right. So anyway, Chaitanya Charitamrita maybe is out first for now, because it's received. So this is 2 important books or Bhagavad Gita, whatever. So I will want all of you to have a discussion. Maybe Vivan can lead the discussion. All right. So Vivan can lead the discussion, and just offer your opinion. Please don't think, oh, this person, so many people want this. So give your opinion. You have right to give your opinion, right? And of course, when everything is done, then we start to arrange. Because now we start to relish the advantage of doing the Sastra Marathon. Nectar of instruction, now nectar of devotion. And slowly, what's next? Right? We're going to do nectar of devotion. One shot, or maybe you want to do two and Bhagavatam in between. All right? Or we can also incorporate. I'm just giving my opinion, right? I'm giving my opinion. That means we can think about 5 days as week session we have. That means we can do 2 days nectar of devotion, 2 days Srimad Bhagavatam, 1 day we can do this Bhagavad Gita. That means we are studying 3 books. Or you can even Chaitanya Charitamrita, maybe it's going to be very heavy. So it's all depends on every one of you. You all can make a decision and come back and express your opinion. Don't feel you're offending. Okay, nobody's going to get offended. You express your opinion is very much needed for a decision-making process. Right? Just think about it. Or maybe if you think you don't want to do it now, maybe in the evening, or maybe even when it's free, you can just create that conversation in the group, WhatsApp group. So you all can have a conversation and give your opinion, and let Vivan will be the ultimate decision maker, and he will give me the instruction, and I will just follow all of your instruction. Right? I'm open to anything, because every part of these books is full of nectar. All right? So I hope I'm clear. So please express your opinion. All right? If you think you cannot type, just give a voice message also will do. If you think you're not so good in English, even in Tamil language is also good. But if you're going to give in Chinese, maybe I need to get a translator. All right? I think the Chinese devotees here can speak English, right? So please give your opinion, actively involved in that WhatsApp group. Or if you think you're like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, maybe you find it very hard to type, maybe you can ask Vivan Prabhu to give a call. All right? Just put in the group, Vivan, can you kindly call me? He will call you. Maybe you can express your desire in word. Even any one of you wants a call, right? Or if you think you want to call Vivan personally, you just put a group, WhatsApp group. Vivan, is it okay, Vivan? I'm doing this without even asking your permission.
Prabhuji, I follow you only, Prabhuji. Whatever you say, I only follow you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
No, see, I am just making an assumption that you will do it. No, I didn't ask your permission. Sorry for that.
No worries, Prabhu. No worries, Prabhu.
So please come, because we got 1 month. After we finish Nectar of Instruction, Harinam Chintamani, you all will go into the different level. Because I start to feel that I believe that you all can feel some kind of ecstasy. And I'm very sure that all of you are chanting. Right? At least even chant 1 or 2 rounds, I believe that you're getting some kind of taste. There's some kind of ecstatic feeling. And I know we are growing. Right? So what we're going to do next is something, okay? Nectar of Instruction, devotion 500 pages, Srimad Bhagavatam 18,000 verses. Maybe it's going to take 1.5 to 2 years, depends. Then after that, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I just really prayed to Krishna that to give all of us long life enough to relish all these books and to get this ecstatic prema and Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. All right? So that's the thing. So, okay, so we end the session here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your association. Vancha kalpataruvescha kripa sindhubevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavebhayo namo namah. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Have a wonderful weekend. We meet again next week, Monday. Okay, till then, I know it's going to be 2 days, even stuff, but I got so many other shouldn't say useless. I got so many other commitments, which I can't, what they call, not to look into it. I wish I can just simply go on discussing this with all of you, such a wonderful devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I just repeated what Bhaktiyaloka Mataji. None of this is my own opinion. I just repeated. All glories to Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All glories to Srila Prabhupada for introducing Bhakti Vinod Thakur to all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Jai.